This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Well, what's next is the more uncomfortable segment of our show today. In hindsight, probably not the best decision creatively. Didn't age well, but different time, as we like to say. It's the famous promo, or maybe infamous promo, where Vince McMahon is yelling at Trish to take her top off and bark like a dog. And of course, we're doing this, just to add context, Vince is the bad guy here. We want people to boo him. And that's a pretty surefire way to make that happen. In hindsight, maybe not the best idea.
No, and again, this was in character, Mr. McMahon. And you also have to remember, over 20 years ago, you go back on it, doesn't age well at all.
No.
But you ever watch the show Succession on HBO?
Absolutely, I do.
Okay. Well, there's the scene where they're in the castle, and he has everybody, come on, go over there. Oh, wrong answer. Go over there and get down like a dog or whatever, and all that shit. It's
he's evil, and he's trying to
he's evil, and he's manipulating and showing his power over everyone.
He wants to humiliate her.
And he wants to make her pay for whatever wrong that in his mind he perceived that she did as the character. So it was, I thought, great storytelling. And again, in particular, that scene, it doesn't age well because it needs an awful lot of context around it for people to understand how did they get here. If you look at it all by itself, oh my God, that's terrible. When you look at it in context and you look at the end and you see the happy ending at the end, then you understand.
Meltzer would say it's a takeoff of an old wrestling angle where the heels make life hell for a face because they've got something on them, and the longer the better until the face finally rebels. I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, in a different way, you did stuff like this once upon a time with Virgil and the $1 Million Man, but the dynamic changes when it's a man and a woman. But still, Canada does not allow the segment to air on TV. Bob Costas eventually interviews Vince later and asks him about the segment in one of those more infamous Vince interviews on HBO. In hindsight, this was probably more trouble than it's worth, right?
I think in hindsight, you can look at it through whatever vision you want to look at it. At the time, it was a story, and it was a storyline with fictional characters. And that's what it was. And if you want to take it and try and analyze it and make it something more than that, then that's up to you, and that's your prerogative.
Talk to me a little bit about Trish when this is being put together. Does she have any objections, or is she in on the gag and knows, hey, it's a character, who gives a shit? Let's go be funny.
Yeah, Trish looked at it as an opportunity to be involved in a storyline and to be involved in a story with one of the top heels ever in the industry. So yes, Trish looked at this as a great opportunity to be able to go out and show her acting chops and be a part of this mega story that she was a huge part of.
We get to WrestleMania, and Trish gets one of the biggest pops when she turns on Vince and slaps him in his match against Shane McMahon. Of course, Linda tops her pop just by awakening from this comatose state. And ta-da, she stands up, does the low blow. And man, even before she did that, just Linda waking up, so to speak, and standing up. What a pop. It's easy in hindsight to look back and say, oh, they shouldn't have did this or they shouldn't have did that. But this big payoff here made it all worth it.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. When you take the story all the way to the end.
Yes.
And then you see how Trish was helping Linda and bringing Linda around, and how they were both in on it because of the horrible things that Mr. McMahon, the character, had done to them. And to get that comeuppance in that moment, it was beautiful. And I always go back, and guys want to hear you talk about a Road Warrior pop. Well, let's be real, folks, and let's talk about a Linda McMahon pop, because that was deafening, and that was one of those moments of holy shit, where you just get a smile on your face and go, yeah, they dug that one.
Really a pretty special moment. And we should Just to add context to this, in the span of a year, Trish has gone from managing Test and Albert to being part of Vince versus Shane at WrestleMania. Pretty big time rise for a first year person in the business.
Absolutely. And that just goes to the fortitude of Trish, fighting, getting better at every single turn, and being ready for whatever was thrown at her.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.